Pharmacy communities are here and you can get involved. Innovators in pharmacy training are coming fast, and training is available with a workshop APHA is doing with NASM. And we highlight a victory for a leader in pharmacy, one of APHA's members. That's just some of what we're talking about on today's RX Report, where you get your health, your news delivered. I'm your host, Manuel, and I'm coming to you from the home of pharmacy here at the American Pharmacists Association in beautiful Washington, D.C. Now, we've got a lot to talk about today, so be sure to click that like and subscribe button, leave us a comment on anything and everything that we talk about today, and you might just be our lucky gift card winner. And let's dive in. You know that moment in every teen movie where the hero basically finds their people? That's pretty much what APHA communities are, minus the mean girls judging and a lot more professional development. So what are these communities? Basically, they're member-led groups of pharmacists, researchers, new practitioners, pharmacy technicians, student pharmacists, and other professionals as they share their insights, exchange knowledge, and build meaningful connections. Each community is centered around a specific area of pharmacy practice, career stage, professional identity, or shared interest. You might remember APHA's Special Interest Groups, or SIGs. Well, in June of this year, APHA members voted to evolve that structure into something even more dynamic. This change was designed to reflect the diversity of our profession and enhance the member experience. And with that transition, we have more than 20 communities to belong to. Whether you're passionate about ambulatory care, immunizations, academia, or just want to debate that ideal inventory count cycle, no judgment, there is a space for you. So what are you waiting for? If you're an APHA member, you are already in. Membership in communities is included in your benefits, and you can join as many as you like based on your interests or career goals. If you're not a member, check out the other link that I have below to become one today and join your group of like-minded professionals. Think of it kind of like Reddit, but being moderated by actual pharmacists instead of a VTuber with Wi-Fi. So if you're looking for your kind of pharmacy people, APHA communities are the place to be. Check out pharmacist.com/communities and find your crew, and we'll see you there. For our next story, APHA and the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine are teaming up for a workshop on innovations in pharmacy training and practice, which is basically like Coachella, but for pharmacist nerds. Nice. In-person tickets are already snagged, unfortunately, but who wants to go in person when you can learn remotely in your sweatpants instead? We are super excited about this. APHA actually decided to make the primary investment in this event because it will set forward the trajectory of pharmacy and the pharmacy workforce into the future, and really beyond. NASM has a strong evidence-based background for generating recommendations and outcomes, so it is monumental that they express this interest as the neutral convener and host. Virtual registration is open, and you can get involved and upgrade your practice by learning pharmacist elements like pharmacists expanding roles in the healthcare delivery system, strategies for collaborative care, environments that reduce clinical burnout, next-generation hiring, and ways to eliminate pharmacy deserts. Check out the link in the description and get educated today. We'll get to our next main story in a second, but right now it's time for a short one on quick doses. Now for our new segment where we're doing a member spotlight. We're going to take a quick trip down to the California State Capitol, where the 2025 API Legislative Caucus honored none other than Dr. Brian Komoto of Delano, California, as the 2025 API Legislative Caucus honoree. Dr. Komoto is the chairman of APHA's Government Affairs Committee and an absolute powerhouse when it comes to advocating for pharmacists. He's spent decades pushing policies that support pharmacy access, equity in care, and frankly, basic reimbursement sanity. Dr. Komoto, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure to have you. So I've really got to ask, you have just been given this huge honor by the API Legislative Caucus, and you are also a regent of the University of California. Just tell me, what's going through your head right now with this huge win?
Yeah, I was stunned being honored like this. I didn't realize we were going to actually be on the floor of the Assembly and Senate. There were several of us who got this honor, one from each legislator, and I was very proud to be part of that group. It amazing group of people.
Well, taking a look at your history, I mean, it makes sense that you've kind of been a part of this new honorary group because you founded your own foundation and program to lower drug prices and help pharmacists. Can you tell us a little bit about the pharmacist advocacy that you've been doing and the service that led to this moment?
A lot of it has to do with really addressing my community and the needs. We're in an underserved community. So there's a lot of needs that our patients experience. And early on when we started business, I, realized that patients weren't coming in just to fill a prescription. They had other needs and other healthcare needs. So it was up to me, I felt, to really help them address it in order to improve their overall health. And as I started doing that, I got more and more involved in community activities and then began to start advocating for the issues that I felt were broader and more general to the community I'm serving.
And so with that advocacy and in tandem with your wife for this foundation, you've been able to serve that community that you've been targeting. And it seems like you've really kind of pulled them to the next big stage of their careers in terms of just success and also like basic sanity because of there are so many hurdles that face the profession today. So every bit of help helps, I'm sure.
The way our foundation started was really when I saw a farm worker who came in and was asking, can he take half the dose of insulin? Because the copay of his insulin was over $100 for a month supply. And he said, I can't afford this and also put food on my table. At that point, I said, we need to really try to help you meet your medical needs and also your family needs. And so we were able to, at that very instant, give him a coupon that alleviated, he was able to get that insulin for $25 that one time. Then I said, we need to help you have this type of situation from this point on. So we got him qualified for the manufacturer's patient assistance program. But I said, we need to start doing this for more patients and then also to see what other sources we can help our patients with. And that started the foundation.
So it seems like you're making a lot of big changes, not only within California in your underserved area, like you mentioned, but also just around the country. So as chairman of the Government Affairs Committee here at APHA, what can you say your advocacy efforts have led to kind of countrywide? Like what efforts are you leading there that may be still in progress?
When COVID broke out, our committee was addressing the issue, and at that time, the president gave it to the COVID vaccine when it finally was developed to 2 chains, yet the chains don't service long-term care facilities. So I said, this is going to be an issue. This is going to become an issue with the elderly. And so APHA went and met with HHS, got a letter that said any and all pharmacies and pharmacists can order and administer. At that, we brought it back to California, and we had to get an executive order from the governor in order to get that implemented. But nevertheless, we did that, and our pharmacy was one of the first pharmacies to be able to administer the vaccine in California.
Okay, so that does directly affect not just the country, but your backyard as well, which is I'm sure
Correct.
Great to see that change immediately.
We're looking to expand the scope of what pharmacists can do, seeing that we were able to help such an important issue like COVID and be able to step in. We want to do other things, especially in rural settings where patients have access issues. So we're working on legislation right now. One is called ECAPS, and we're hoping that gets passed here very soon. And if so, that'll open the door for patients to be able to go to a pharmacy and get, a test and then get treated for certain diseases.
And you're talking access-wise, you're talking about addressing the issue of pharmacy deserts where people are unable to really reach a pharmacy in a reasonable distance to access their prescriptions?
Not a pharmacy, but to access health care.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
okay, even broader then.
There's not even a doctor or, near them, but there's a pharmacy in that little city. Now, those are even becoming pharmacy deserts, some of those little cities, because of the problems pharmacy is facing. So another thing we're working on is really trying to change the reimbursement model so these pharmacies can survive.
So we've talked a lot about the kind of issues facing pharmacy, and you've mentioned how you're working on expanding access to healthcare, expanding pharmacists' role in healthcare in general, like a job that already requires wearing a lot of hats. So I'm curious to new pharmacists, people just coming into the profession. What advice would you kind of give them to prepare for the profession and the effect that they can actually have on their patients?
Actually, I think this is an exciting time to be graduating from pharmacy school. The profession is changing, and I think anytime there's change, there's opportunity. And so for a young student, they just need to look for the right types of opportunities. Example is there needs to be more review of patient medication histories and managing their therapies in a community setting. And that is, those opportunities are opening up. In California, we have that in the Medi-Cal program. There's 13 diseases, and they're expected to increase the number of diseases that they're allowing pharmacists to play a role in helping manage them. And we've made big differences, especially in asthma. So pharmacists are getting much more involved in actually creating a better environment for them to thrive, patients to thrive.
Dr. Komoto, you are the 2025 API Legislative Caucus honoree. You are the Regent of the University of California, and you are an all-around superstar. Thank you so much for being on RX Report. We loved having you.
Thank you.
For our last story, this past week, APHA President-elect Magaly Rodriguez de Bittner spoke at the National Alliance of State Pharmacy Associations. She's a longtime leader in public health pharmacy and a fierce advocate for pharmacists being recognized not just as healthcare workers, but as healthcare leaders. While at NASPA, she spoke on APHA's efforts to maintain an active role in public health awareness, advocacy, and action based upon the massive recent changes to the public health system. Due to these changes, APHA collated CDC and other federal agency guidelines, summary charts, vaccine information, and other relevant information for easy access on the APHA website for pharmacy members. Magaly spoke on APHA's long-standing partnership with NASPA to identify the 37 states and jurisdictions which authorize pharmacists and pharmacy personnel to administer vaccines that are tied to ACIP. Together, APHA and NASPA are crafting language for states to use to specify administration of FDA-authorized or approved vaccines. In addition, she talked about how APHA has been advocating directly to the administration to retain essential patient care staff at federal agencies, including pharmacists and pharmacy personnel. That is a lot to talk about in one meeting, but Magaly is confident in the profession's ability to become stronger by working together on these advocacy efforts. Sounds like a plan to me. And that is our show. If this episode made you want to be part of a pharmacy community, then leave us a like and subscribe. Also comment on which one you want to join. A quick congratulations to Daniel, who left us a wonderful comment on our last episode. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button for more RX Report and leave a comment so that you have the chance to be our next lucky winner. Our executive producer is Rob Hodges. Our creative producer and co-editor is Kate Erdmann. And until next time, I've been your host, Mason Manuel. Stay tuned next Friday for more RX Report, where you get your health and your news delivered. But till then, bye y'all.